And Donald Trump has his finger over his mouth, and Netanyahu's just standing there with his hands by his side. Sete hatu suru mateshe. I see Jeffrey Epstein in the Mossad, and you're telling me, what does he know? And you're showing me Donald Trump. Sete, everything hidden will be exposed. And I see the face of Jeffrey Epstein. What? Surumate, not dead, but fallen. What does that mean? Sete hatu surumate shetesi. I will put it into perspective soon. My Dorothy. Everything hidden will be exposed. Okay. Sete hatusu. I wonder if Jeffrey Epstein had a clone. Saramatish. Are you saying indeed? Sete, and then I hear fallen Nephilim. Anunnaki? What? I see principalities. And I hear the word deception.
Whether or not we're going to get there. I do want to switch gears ever so slightly, because I don't want to run out of time to cover this. I think this is fascinating. I remember when this happened. This went around Twitter. This was called Twitter back then. It went around Twitter back shortly after Jeffrey Einstein left this mortal plane, or we were told. There was a post on the on 4chan. This is it's one it's one of those websites that you could almost say anything you want and they won't take it down. You could almost say anything you want. And so a lot of people discount everything that's posted on there as it's all just LARPing and everything like that. Well, there was a post that went up before we knew that Jeffrey Einstein had allegedly offed himself. And I'll read it to you because it's right here. And the reason it's coming back up is there was a release in the Einstein files that seemed to indicate there might be something to this. Here's what it said. Here's the way it worked. I'm not saying anything after this, meaning I'm not going to follow up, so don't bother asking me questions. Please do not try to dox me. But last night, after the 0415 count, they took him, meaning Jeffrey Einstein, they took him to medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. In other words, this guy was taken away as if he was going to the medical area, but then the medical nurses never laid eyes on him. He never showed up. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. This is a transport van. We do not do releases on the weekends unless a judge orders it. In other words, it's very unusual that a trip van shows up. It's very unusual that somebody would come and load up a prisoner on the weekend because judges typically don't work on weekends. And it's just not something that regularly happens. A transport can wait until Monday. Next thing we know, he's put in a single man cell and affixes a bed sheet around his neck to himself. Here's the thing. The trip van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. That was up. This has been up since 2019. This has been 6.5 years. This has been up and present. So I'm aware of this. I've been aware of this. I was one of those who was fairly confident he was not alive until yesterday. Because yesterday, when the Einstein files dropped, buried in the files was a document that was produced in response to a subpoena. Now, I'll explain why that matters to me in this context. The subpoena appears to have been issued the day or two after that post went up. Now, keep in mind, that post went up before news broke that he was no longer with us, that he had allegedly taken his own life. So to get the timeline right, you have 4chan post goes up before anybody's aware that he's not alive. Then the news breaks. And then a day or two later, there's a subpoena that goes out. Where does the subpoena go out to? It goes out to, of all places, 4chan. They want to know who put this up. I was curious who put it up. And the reason I was curious is because a lot of times people just lie on 4chan. And you could envision a scenario where the lie just happened to line up and the timing was just right, just ever so right. And you're like, whoa, he got lucky. And it gets all kinds of information. I don't know why people get a kick out of lying online, but it's a very common practice. This is the document that was produced. I don't know if you can read it or if it's too small. I'll kind of tell you what it says here. But this is a report generated. The report was generated on August 14 pursuant to a subpoena request. And it's got it says right here, records provided pursuant to a subpoena. And then it's got the text of it right here. It's got the IP address where it came from. They were able to track that down. And they believe it was put up by this guy. Again, I can't state definitively it was, but the belief is this guy is who it was tracked to, this Roberto Grijalva. I don't know if that's true. There's no identifying information here, no home address, no phone number, anything. And here we have evidence that he actually did work there. And he was there that day at that time. Friday, August 9, 2019, approximately 1:15. I, Grijalva, passed on to oncoming staff member, and then it lists some other names here. Also that inmate Einstein will be needing a cellmate upon arrival from his attorney visit. So you have evidence. When you start putting this all together, what you end up with is evidence that this guy may have been honest. That may have been something that happened. It's certainly a fun story, whether or not it's true. I'm not rooting for the guy to get away. I'm not one of those people that just love chaos at all times, and the more chaos, the better. So if he gets away and we can prove he got away, then we got another story to run down. I'm not that guy. I don't want a guy like Einstein getting away with anything. I don't want him on the run.
Hey guys, this video is brought to you by Glory Changers. Go and check out the Glory Changer store where you can get these bracelets that say Jesus, Yeshua, Adonai. There's many different bracelets for men and women. I do pray, decree, and declare, and release the anointing over each bracelet that I make. Each bracelet is made with love, and whatever the Lord has me decree and declare onto it for the person who will receive it, because he knows all things. Glory Changers, from glory to glory. Come and check out the Glory Changer store.